So the idea here is very important, deeply serious, and possibly a complete waste of time. I wanted to answer a question nobody asked. What would happen if you took a giant pile of Irish tunes, wrote up a formula, and fed them into a computer and asked it to figure out the most common one? Not the best one, not the prettiest one, not the most famous one, just the statistically most common hornpipe. The musical equivalent of beige toast with no butter on it. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? So, are you ready to hear how it works? If you're really into spreadsheets, then you're absolutely going to love this next bit. But if you get PTSD from looking at Excel, then skip ahead. I'm not going to judge. So it starts with a big CSV file, which is basically just a very big but beautiful spreadsheet full of tune data from the session.org. Every row is a tune, and each tune has stuff like its name, the tune type, the key, and the actual melody written in ABC notation there too. ABC notation, if you've never seen it before, is like if sheet music gave up and became text. Instead of little black dots and lines, you get letters like D, G, and A, symbols for sharps and flats, bar lines, rhythm marks, all that kind of thing. It looks fake until you realise that musicians actually use it. I don't know about you, but I, for the life of me, can't even read, let alone read ABC notation. But the script, the formula, loads that huge CSV file, which has, and I'm not joking you, 250,000 rows in it. But anyway, using Python, it loads in the file and immediately starts being picky. First, because I love hornpipes. They're my favourite because I suck at playing reels basically. So the reels, they're gone. Jigs, rejected. Polkas, not invited. We're composing the most common hornpipe, and I want this nonsense to be tune specific. Since we can't all agree on one thing, there's always a different way of playing a tune. Fair enough anyway, so we have to ignore the duplicate tunes. And if we left those in, one especially popular tune would start bullying the data. Here's looking at you, Harvest Home. So the script keeps only the first version of each tune. One tune, one vote. Democracy, sort of. Tradocracy? Then after that you get to choose a key. That part matters because if you throw every key into one pot, results get weird fast. Trust me, I've tried it. The computer starts doing the musical equivalent of averaging apples, oranges, and breakfast rolls. So instead, you can say something like, only work on G major hornpipes, which gives the result a fighting chance, to be fair. A fighting chance at sounding like an actual Irish tune, and not some weird sacrificial cult-like music. But once that's done, the script starts cleaning the tune up itself, cleaning the tune text. It takes only the first 4 lines of each tune, right? And only the first 4 bars of each line too. Why is that? Because some tunes might just be longer than others. So we crop them all down to the same shape. Every tune gets put into the same little 16-bar box. Then the script strips out all the decorative clutter, chord symbols, grace notes, repeat markers, basically all the extra punctuation that makes sense to musicians, but makes a computer cry. Now comes the actual math bit here. So the app reads every note and converts it into a MIDI pitch number. That just basically means that every note becomes an integer, becomes a number. Because computers don't know what a high D with a bit of emotion means. They know 74, or 78, or whatever number that note comes out as. It also handles octaves, so uppercase and lowercase letters, don't get confused. And it handles accidentals too, like sharps, flats, and naturals. So if the ABC says raise this note, the script raises the MIDI number as well. If it says flatten it, the number goes down. Very glamorous. Then for the rhythm, which is honestly the tricky bit. Each bar gets split into 48 slot timing grids. That sounds unhinged, but it's actually quite useful. So now every hornpipe has been transformed into a neat grid. For every tiny point in time, there is either a note number or a rest. And this is where the most common tune part happens now. For each slot in time, the script looks across all the filtered hornpipes and asks, what note appears here most often? Not what note should be nicest, not what note would a human choose, just what pitch wins the election. It doesn't even care about how the phrase is supposed to end. It just ends. If G shows up most in that slot, the script puts G there. If D wins, it gets D. If there's no note there often enough, it can leave a rest. So it does that over and over and over again for the whole tune. Every moment in time gets decided by majority vote. This is not composing. This is musical bureaucracy. Then, because the raw slot by slot result is ugly and unreadable, the app smooths that into actual 8-note chunks. Each bar basically gets divided into 8 equal blocks, and each block gets one final note. Then it converts those numbers back into ABC notation, but we're not done there. Now the computer has taken a mountain of hornpipes, reduced them to numbers, held a series of tiny note elections, and rebuilt the result as a brand new tune, the most statistically common Irish hornpipe in that key, which is absurd and beautiful and maybe a little bit cursed. And because I went too far with this, the app doesn't just print the ABC text. It can also open a pop-up and render the tune on a musical stave. I've even gone and put it up on my website as well, so you can play it yourself. I don't know why you'd want to, but I've put the link in the description anyway. So you get to actually look at the thing you've created, like Dr. Frankenstein opening the curtain and revealing that his monster is, musically speaking, mostly made up of G's and D's. So no, this does not tell us the best Irish hornpipe. We all know that belongs to Chief O'Neill's favourite, let's just face it. It doesn't reveal some beautiful hidden artistic truth. It does not replace human composers. Turlough O'Carlin would hit me a slap, honestly. What it does do is answer a completely unnecessary question. If Irish trad music had an average looking face, what would it look like? And the answer to that is something unsurprisingly convincing, slightly strange. I mean, it kind of sounds like a badly composed hornpipe, honestly. After all, it was created by forcing hundreds of hornpipes through a statistical meat grinder, which is, well, that's what computers are made for. Now have a listen to the tune here, right? I spent far too long learning this. Let me know if you enjoy it, and please don't go learning it yourself because it's absolutely awful. Now, I did have an awful lot of fun with this, right? But before that as well, I tried to find out what's the most average sounding hornpipe, right? By averaging out the numbers. And no surprise there, sure, anyone could have said, well, won't it just all revolve around the same note? And the answer is yes. But the interesting thing I saw from that, right, is actually the notes gradually get higher. And the second half of the tune is a few steps higher than the first, which I think we can all agree makes a lot of sense. The beginning of a tune is sometimes in the lower register, whereas when you shift to the next part, it's sometimes brighter and sits up there in the higher register. But it was really cool to see that on screen. But if you hated this video, please give it a like and subscribe. If you thought this was the most boring sounding hornpipe you've ever heard in your whole life, comment below, and also please like and subscribe. I should say only subscribe if you're interested in Irish music, culture and a bit of crap like this. Usually, as you know, I do more videos focused on history and stuff like that, but now and then I like to take a break from things like that and lean into having a bit more fun with making videos in general. You gotta keep things interesting. But before we finish up, I want to give a huge shout out to our channel members. Here's your names up on screen now. Thanks again as always for your continued support. Your support helps keep videos like this coming. And also a warm welcome to our new members. Nils Schult 5115, Rupinder Julia 9130, Kembach 1086, David Thompson, Nora Haig, Topsy Toner. So glad to have yous all here. Thanks for joining, and apologies if I mispronounced anyone's names there. If you'd like to join them and support more videos like this, just hit the join button down below, or check out the links in the description for more information. If this is your first time here as well, and you might be interested in some Irish music themed merch, I've got a collection of items up on the shop. Feel free to have a look if you've got time to do so. And as well, you can also join the Discord server, where I'm trying to put together a wee community of like-minded people and keep the conversation going there. But look, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a great week ahead, no matter where you are in the world. Slán go fóill, cheers.